What a story. Well, first of all, how would you have felt if an angel appeared and spoke to you? That is pretty epic, hey? But the news that Angel Gabriel brought Mary and Joseph, wow, it's forever changed the world. Well, let me tell you a little bit about some exciting news that I received. Now, it's quite a few years ago now, but I also received the news not from Angel Gabriel, but from a nurse that I was going to have a baby as well, and my baby was this little once. And I had some incredible news that I was going to have a baby boy. And as you know, many of you, I've got Reuben, who's really tall now, taller than me. I've got Asher and Liberty. But the news of an exciting baby, and here he is when he was just really little, a few weeks old. The news of a baby is very exciting. However, the news that came to Mary and Joseph was a little bit scary and a little bit frightening at the time, because they weren't married and they didn't want to live embarrassed. And it was a surprise, because that was not their plan, that they were going to have the baby, and they didn't know that they were going to be carrying and bringing into the world the Saviour of the world. But God trusted Mary and Joseph to carry the Saviour of the world and to bring him into the world. I wonder what big news you might have received. You might have had big news that you were going to Disneyland. You might have had big news that you were going to go to a Christmas panto. Or you might have had big news as well that you were going to have a baby brother or baby sister. We often can all get big news that is really surprising. And I wonder how it made you feel when you got your big news. Were you nervous or scared, maybe like Mary and Joseph? I think they were definitely a little bit nervous, a little bit scared, but how exciting that God had trusted Mary and Joseph to carry Jesus, the Saviour of the world. So we've looked at our Bible story today, telling us about the angel visiting Mary. And Mary and Joseph listened to what the angel had said to them and trusted God. And we can be like Mary and Joseph as well. When God asks us to do something or tells us something through his word, even like loving our neighbours or to forgive someone who's been mean to us, we can listen to God and do as he tells us to do. Sometimes it does feel like we can't do these things because the news is so big. But God tells us in his word that when God asks us to do something, he will help us to do it. He'll never, say never, 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 never leave us or forsake us. And he was just like that with Mary and Joseph. They, at the start, when they got the news, must have been thinking, how is this going to work out? What are people going to think? How is this going to happen? But God led them and guided them and took them to a place as they trusted him. And I want to challenge us all as we start exploring our Christmas story. Will you be like Mary and Joseph and trust God? Will you listen to him with what he's asking you to do? And will you obey him? We've all got the choice, just like Mary and Joseph did, to listen to God and to follow him and obey his word. And you never know, by listening and obeying what God asks us to do, what might happen. God will fulfill his wonderful plans and promises through me and you as well. So, Audacious Kids, this Christmas, let's celebrate the great birth of Jesus, our Saviour, and let's learn a big lesson from Mary and Joseph and listen to what God is telling us to do.